The Hunt from 2012 starring Mads Mikkelsen. This movie is pretty dang good. It's another Patreon request here on this episode of Movie Breakdowns, and I'm excited to hop into this one. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Zakka. And before I get started, is there a review or a movie you want me to do? Let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I can get to it as best I can. Also, Patreon/Zakka for $2 a month. Your review to cut in front of everybody, get to it as best I can, as quickly as I can. Find it, review it, and get out there on Patreon for you guys, because you know you're paying for my services. You're paying for me to review the movie, and I got him review it for you. And like the other ones that's out there before, this is also another Patreon request from Bobby. The Hunt from 2012. And this is a spoiler review, guys. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. I found it on YouTube. And this movie is dang good. It is really, really good. Like, props good. So, what is this movie about? This movie is about a teacher who he's lonely. He's trying to get his son back. He's dealing with a custody case over his ex-wife, fiance, over his son's mom. And as he's trying to handle that, he comes to find out that a girl at his job likes him, so therefore he starts, going on dates and everything. Pretty much his life is going well. He got a new girlfriend, a woman he works with. His son's now able to come see him. He's going great. The only issue is his best friend's daughter, who he known since her birth, and he knows his best friend for like decades, decided to lie because she was mad at our main character, and this lie turns into a situation where our main character, whose name Lucas, has been ostracized not just by his best friend, but also by the whole city he lives in. And he has to deal with this little lie that keeps growing and growing to a point where it ruins and shatters his life. And that is the gist of The Hunt from 2012. I love this movie. The writing, the story, the actors and actresses who gave 110% into this, the music placements, the scene, the camera angles and setup where like certain screens are like laid out where full panel, you can see everything. Other times it's not, you only can see certain characters or one character staying on the screen and they're doing something by themselves while the other one's sitting there like trying to figure out what's going on. Every little thing about this movie I truly enjoyed. Like, this movie is great, and I found myself invested into it when the first incident happened in this movie. Now, what is that incident? So, you have Clara, and I believe that's her name. I'm sorry if I messed it up already, but yes, Clara, who been walking home with Lucas, and one day in class, like, Lucas been walking home from work because he goes to hang out with his best friend, Theo. He goes to hang out at his place. So, he is in school playing with the kids, like they're kindergarten, playing with the kids, and Claire decides to jump on Theo when Theo's on the ground and kiss on the lips. And Theo kind of shoves her off and say like, hey, you can't do that. That's something that, adults do. Or your mom or dad can only kiss you on the lips. Nobody else can do that. That's not cool. Matter of fact, here's a little gift to go give to one of the boys who, like, he was like trying to kind of play it off, but at the same time tell her like, no, this is not cool. And Lucas's fault for him not reporting this. He should have told the head teacher or the person who runs the school, wherever her name is. He should have told her that like, hey, this girl kissed me on the lips. I was on the ground. She jumped on me, kissed me on the lips. Told her it's not cool to do, but we need to document this. And then go tell the other teachers who's in the area so everybody knows and worry about it. Lucas, on the other end, then go tell his best friend Theo, that's his daughter. So you need to go tell her, hey, your kid jumped on me, kissing the lips. I told her it's not a good thing to do. You don't kiss strangers, don't kiss people other than your parents. Don't do that. Lucas didn't do that. Lucas played it off and just went about his life. And he's got a girlfriend now. He met a girl at work who was really into him, got a girlfriend. His friends are cheering him, like people who like oh man, this dude got a great social support. And this happened within like the first 20 minutes of the movie. And I like how this movie actually set that up, set up like everything. Instead of like, okay, he has a good social support, he has a good girlfriend, life is going in the up and up for him. Then the head teacher who took the kid at heart, because things happen with kids, and it's very sick that people would do very sick things to children, and it's messed up. So when a kid tells you something like this, you want to believe that kid and be like, okay, we got to figure this out, figure out what's going on, and take the kid at heart. Like, hey, this dude didn't get away from the kids. I get that. That's complete sense. The problem was to me in this movie when the therapist or whoever it was came to investigate and talk to Clara, he started putting words in Clara's mouth, and Clara didn't say anything, and it started out of her head. And thus, the teacher who was sitting next to Clara just kind of took that as face value. Like, she didn't question what the dude was doing. She didn't question, is that exactly what happened? She just said, oh my gosh, and throws up, and then like pretty much runs away from Lucas when he comes to find out like what's going on here, why I'm getting kicked out, why I'm losing my job, what's going on. And then the story spreads where like it's not just Claire, it's multiple kids that Lucas has been touching and doing all this stuff with. And Lucas like, I have not touched any of these people. I have not touched, like, and they try to make up the story where like it's Lucas's basement where he's taking these kids off of school, and Lucas like, and there's a scene in the movie where two people are talking, Lucas's son and his best friend, another good friend of his who is Lucas's son godfather. The police want to go investigate Lucas's house because everybody kept saying he took these kids into his basement and described the whole house and everything. But the police didn't find a basement in Lucas's house. So I was watching this, I was like, somebody's setting this man up. Like, it's not just the whole situation that, that's messed up. Like, take a kid at heart and then, have the police investigate and do a court case and every case may be, and, trial and figure this all out, get out what's going on, DNA, whatever you need to do. Let's figure out like, okay, this is messed up. The person should be held accountable and justice should be served. But in this movie, it went from just one girl to like the whole classroom, and then other kids, and then his basement, and like, where are these stories coming from? Because somebody's adding more to the story to ruin Lucas's life. And that's where I think the name of the movie, The Hunt, comes from, because it wasn't just this lie that Clara said because she was upset. It was turned into, you showed her your parts. Then it turned to, you messed with her and did this. Then it turned to, you're messing with these kids. Then it turned to, you're messing with all of this. And I sorry, I probably should say like there's another trigger warning in this episode, because that, there's some very deep stuff in this movie. Is a very thought-provoking and powerful movie as well behind that, because like, that's messed up. And everybody just started like ragging on Lucas, and nobody ever took Lucas's side on it. Never heard Lucas out. For the viewer, we all seen it. We seen what happened, so we know what's going on. But Lucas also didn't say anything. Versus, if he would have said something, I think half the things that happened in this movie wouldn't happen. And when it got to this point, when somebody's like, "Oh, he has a basement," and the police officer's like, "Oh no, he doesn't have a basement," so I'm not sure where this story is coming from. That actually saves Lucas in this movie. The rest of the town was like, F that. He still touched the kids. And like, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything at all. And it's messed up. The town like really just tried to ostracize Lucas and pretty much like ruin his life. He gets fired. He loses his girlfriend. He pretty much is lonely. And his best friend, who's the father of Clara, Theo, finally decided to go speak to Lucas in the movie when Lucas confronted him in a church. Kind of like, you know what you did, you know what you're doing, because they killed Lucas's dog. They pretty much threatened his son. Lucas gets beat up in a store, and Theo kind of like noticed that like, my daughter's not lying, but what's happening here is not right. And Theo's like has a guilty conscience because everything's happening to Lucas. He knows is either fabricated, like as far as like who's adding to the story, because he's been in Lucas's place, so he knows Lucas doesn't have a basement. So he knows exactly what's going on. And there's multiple times in this movie where Claire even said, I just made something up, wasn't to do anything wrong, Lucas didn't do anything wrong. And everybody's like, no, you're okay, Claire, you're blacking out because you're trying to hide the thing. And Claire's like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. he didn't do anything wrong. I legit just made this up and just not into somebody's story. Wild. Wild. And to add to that, to add to the whole adding to the story part of it, it was like there was a scene where they confront Lucas's girlfriend, and I think her name is Naja. Let me see here. It is Naja. Yeah. So Naja gets involved, and Naja is like hearing everything, and she confronts Lucas like, did you sleep with? Did you mess with? Did he touch the kid? Not sleep. Did you touch the kids? And Clara comes up to the door, and Lucas opens the door and listens to Clara. And I wish Nada would have just walked over to Lucas just to hear what was being said, because she like looked and sounded like she was listening, but apparently she didn't hear anything. So then she confronts Lucas, and Lucas like, I didn't do anything. She's like, you're a sick person. Are you a sick person? And Lucas like, do you think I'm a sick person? Like, do you not trust me, kind of thing? And I don't like the fact that he got aggressive with Naja and threw her out. I wish he didn't do that. I wish he probably just told her to leave and, we'll talk about this later kind of thing, because I'm not sure what you heard it from, because you've been with me this whole time. It's wild. And this movie took that story that, like, Claire just nodded her head. Like, nobody else, like, Claire didn't say anything. She pretty much, and I'm thinking about it, I don't think she even said that, like, Lucas even showed her anything. I think she was like mad at Lucas and said Lucas, don't like him kind of thing or something. But she was sitting in a dark room, and the lady who owned the school, the facilitator, teacher, head teacher, she was like out to get Lucas, and then a few other people was out to get Lucas. Whatever the case may be, it was like the town decided to go after Lucas, and there was no exact reason for why. They just took the kids at face value versus like, yeah, man, we don't trust you, and that's not cool, and maybe you should go be off on your own, till we handle it with the police department, investigations done, and the police come and prove you, innocent until, like, proven guilty. And this movie didn't really do that. This movie, like, no, you're guilty, and I don't care if you're innocent, you're still guilty. Like, how dare you? Which doesn't even matter, because, like, Lucas, all his best friends who he grew up with turned on him. And this movie brings up a conversation, like, as somebody who, have younger family members and also have very good friends and best friends, like, if that was my daughter and my best friend, I would be like, okay, this is my daughter. Yo, man, you can't come around my kids. You can't be in my house. We can talk outside. But you're not coming in. We gotta handle this in court. I'm sorry, I gotta take you to court, man. Like, we gotta let the court play out. We gotta let the court play out, because this is not cool. And Lucas never really told Theo what happened in school. He would have just told her, hey, your kid jumped on me. Like, she jumped on me, she kissed me, I pushed her out to her, that's not cool. If he would have told her that day one, when the incident happened, this movie probably wouldn't have happened at all. Matter of fact, Theo probably been like, oh no, I know what happened. That's not what happened. They're making up a story to try to ostracize my friend. And I don't know why Lucas was the target in this movie. I just don't get it. And then at the end of the movie too, there was a scene where they went on hunt, like there's a hunting trip, him and his son and his godfather, and Lucas is out on his own. I was like, oh shoot, this movie not gonna have a good ending. And then a gunshot goes off, and you're like, and the movie kind of leaves on that. And I'm not gonna tell you how, like, the final scene, but I'll just let you know, like, it's around that point, and I'm not gonna tell you whether or not what happens next, but you're just like, dang, man. I enjoyed this movie. I really did. I can't think of anything horrible to say about this movie. This movie was very intriguing. It had thought-provoking. I was involved and definitely was like, put myself in the scenario of the characters in this movie. Like, it was definitely a relatable movie for me for some reason. Maybe because, like I said, I had younger family members, and just imagining like that situation and what would you do as far as all the characters, like, it's crazy. But I still can't believe that dude legit like start making up a story, and Claire just like nodded her head to it versus like, no, that's not what happened. And I get, as a kid, you're in a situation where you're a young kid, and adults are interrogating you, and you're just like, what do you want to do to get out the situation? So you just start nodding and agreeing and stuff. But that lie just hurt her dad's best friend that she knew forever. Like, she used to hang out and play with the dog, and then they kill the dog, and the dog is gone. And you're just like, this is a messed up movie. Like, is there gonna be a winner in the end of this movie? This was a movie I did not know the ending to. I will applaud that. I could not figure it out. I was like, we know the truth as an audience, but the characters in the movie don't know the truth. And you're just sitting here watching like, dude, this actually could have all been avoided though. When you really think about it, it all could have been avoided if Lucas would just said something the moment it happened. If he would just said something, it would have been. But unless that lady didn't like him, if she didn't like him, then that's all downhill, man. That's messed up. Yeah. All right. I don't have any negative thoughts about this movie, by the way. I don't have any negative thing to say. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, like really did. So let's go ahead and get into the box office and everything, the details. So the movie's called The Hunt, like I said earlier, from 2012. It is an hour and 55 minutes long. It is directed by Thomas Vinterberg, and the writers of the movie is Tobias Lindenholm and Thomas Vinterberg. The movie made, and it came out in Germany. Well, further make sure, I believe it's Germany. Denmark. Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. Denmark and Sweden is the country of origin. The release date in Denmark was January 10, 2013. And this movie has a budget of $38 million. Sorry, $3,800,000. And it grossed worldwide $15 million. So it made its money. The cast, Matt Mikkelsen, who plays Lucas. Lucas was like, Matt Mikkelsen does a great job. Like, he is phenomenal, a great actor. And I think, there was some awards. He should have got an award for this movie, but he did a great job playing Lucas. Thomas Bo Larsen, who played Theo, thought he did a great job as well, being like undecisive, but also not listening, like not sure what to believe, his best friend or his daughter, and like my daughter doesn't lie, so why would she do this? Annika Winterkop, who played Claire, thought she did a good job. Alexandra Rappaport, who played Naji, great as well for her. Lassie Fogelstrom, who played Marcus, who was actually the son of Lucas. But I'm actually happy that he brought him in here into this movie, not just leaving him a phone character, but a legit character, because I think that added more to the movie to show that like it's not just Lucas who's dealing with it, but his son is also dealing with it. And I thought that was a great job for that. Annie Louise Hassing, who played Agnes, I thought she did a good job as well. Sussy Ward, who played Gertie, great for her. This movie has like, it's solid, great people. Like, cast all around is great. Good job. Any other thoughts? No. This movie is a darker movie, I would say. Like, it's not really that bright and cheery. It's kind of gloomy and a little dull colors in this movie. And probably because the majority of the stuff that's happening is very dull. It's very dark and very saddening. And you're watching a character who is innocent go through like the trials and tribulations of a town who just hear word of mouth and not really looking at the details and hearing one side of the story. Granted, there are people who do sick things to kids in this world, and they really should be held to justice and pay for what they done. But when somebody's innocent and they get accused of such a thing and nobody want to hear the innocent side, is also messed up. Like, this movie did a great job bringing that to light, and it's a very dark and somber movie, and so this movie does have a lot of color and dull tones. And I don't know, I just thought the movie was done really well. The music was great for this movie, the tones, everything about it, solid. I have nothing bad to say about this movie at all. Like, I think this movie is solid. Like, it's great. All right, is this a Friday night movie? Yes, it's a Friday night movie. Watch with your friends and family and have a discussion. Like, stop this movie and have a talking point. I'm curious to see, what would you do? I'm curious to see what my friends and family would do in this case. Like, it is something. Like, this is, man. All right, Great time. I'm gonna grade the movie The Hunt from 2012 an A+. I'm gonna give this movie an A+. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, 100%. Like, I know A+ is high and it's very rare you find an A+ movie, but like, this movie is great. I don't have anything bad to say about this movie, man. Like, would I watch it again? Yeah. I will watch it again. It's not German, I'm sorry. What's the language of Denmark? What movie is this language in? I'm sorry, guys. And somebody's probably yelling at me right now, like, this movie's in... Oh, sorry, guys. The movie is Danish. Danish and Polish is in this movie, and English, but the main language is Danish. I actually go visit Denmark. I've never been overseas, to be honest, from America, so I definitely apologize to my overseas friends who's watching this review. And let's go ahead and talk about what IMDb gives this movie. IMDb gives this movie a 8.3 out of 10. That is a B-, and Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie a 93%. That is an A- from the critics. And the audience gives the movie a 93%. So that's an A- from the critics. This movie is solid. It's phenomenal. I'm giving this movie an A+. It's 100% for me. Like, it's dang good. Like, I was definitely involved in this movie so much. Even when the dog died, I was like, not Fanny, no! So yes, this movie's great for me. If you've seen the movie The Hunt from 2012, what did you think? Please put it in the comment section below on that. See you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.